Hello.
Oh, it goes to all the speakers.
Yeah.
Sick.
So now we're all queued up, and when we talk in here. We don't have to because we don't have an audience,
No, you still talking here because that's how
but they hear it at
Facebook
home.
Here. Yes.
You mean
hears
YouTube?
it.
But we don't have to go on and off because we don't have an audience.
Yeah.
I can let him.
We have to share.
Oh.
That's okay. We could put it between us. This works.
Have another one.
Oh, this works.
Good, huh? My brain is.
And so if we wanted to, we could
into
see
the
ourselves
hour.
on YouTube right now.
You could. Yeah. You could.
And everyone's
too.
listening.
Wait, so these are all muted, right?
No, red
No.
means they're active. It's something weird with discussion systems. You look at like the State House; theirs are also red.
Yeah.
Because the system is set up to have like hundreds of these microphones, and you can only have 10 active at a time. And so if an 11th person wants to talk, theirs will flash green, meaning that they're green.
Oh.
So red means you're talking. No color means you're muted. Green would mean you're for permission.
Wow.
Do you want to give that one to George, and you can take that one?
They need to,
Oh, and we need to call. We need to let. We do need to let Letty in. Josh,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
we do need to let Letty in.
Oh, she's on the.
We didn't have a meeting set up, so I don't know how it works because I haven't done this yet.
So we can set it up.
Do that.
I don't know if she's ready or
You can just say meet now
Letty's ready.
and start an ad hoc meeting.
Okay.
You just need to say ready. These two numbers. She'll be able to.
So do I have to change anything with the screen now or just?
No.
Okay.
Now you're all set. That's all you had to do
Okay.
to allow Letty to. So we got it down to like 2 clicks. Which is not bad.
I'll give her a run. Or we could start. All right, let's see. It's 6:40. What is that? 6. It's been a week. And let's see. Today, we're waiting to see if Letty's going to come in.
If she joins,
Mhm.
it'll automatically. Well, you'll see something pop up there
And you have to let her in.
that says admit. You'll see her name pop up if she tries
Okay.
to join.
Okay. And Steve's not here today. This is the communications meeting if you're watching from home. Okay, so where's my agenda? I actually did not bring the minutes from the last meeting, so I promise I will bring 2 sets to the next meeting. And that was a while ago because we haven't met in several months. And then emails, we're getting a lot of junk email, Josh. I don't know if the website is causing, I don't know if we want to check with, like, if anyone else
Are
is
they
experiencing
coming in
that.
from the website forms, or are
There-
they just?
It's probably, because it's probably a little bit of Facebook and a lot of Google stuff, but because it's through forms, some of it, like, I think we're getting like bots or
Through the website
real
forms
people I
themselves?
don't know saying, we can give you website help. I'm getting quite a few of those, so I don't know if we want to check and make sure that, I'm guessing Karen might be getting some of those too, possibly.
But you're seeing them from website form submissions, is what the email.
I think so. I can show you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk to municipal and ask them to turn on a more restrictive bot mode.
Okay. So other than that, I had a really nice photo submission for spring that I have to still, and then you actually sent one too, which looked nice, so we could add that. And a lot of Facebook notifications, so nothing really. Oh, someone actually also mentioned, or several people have mentioned that, and one of the things we need to talk to Municipal One about is on the front page, the calendar's not loading properly.
The week at a glance.
Yeah, the week at a glance is not loading properly, and I think we thought it would have all of the week at a glance would have everything on each day, and it's not doing that.
Do we know what specific?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So like.
I don't know
here,
specifically, but
These 14th, 15th, and 16th don't have anything?
Yep.
No, never mind.
Well, no, it happened this week. I went into Week at a Glance. Steph had said something to me, and I couldn't find, I didn't know the municipal complex meeting was scheduled for Monday. Someone told me, so I attended, but it was on the whole June calendar, but not the Week at a Glance.
yeah, it's not capturing everything.
Unless
So-
it's
But
how
maybe-
they load it.
Each category that the calendar is assigned to is assigned a permission whether it should show up on the front page or not.
Oh.
So it could be that it's that category for the municipal complex committee does not have that checked.
Do you,
What date
can we
did it
check it
have
real
It
quick?
I
was
can check it.
Monday,
Let's just check it, because if it's something we can fix right
10th.
now, that'd be amazing.
It just says public Q&A.
There was something
there was
missing.
nothing on Monday, earlier this week. Nothing.
I think we saw also conservation was on, but it didn't list on the Week at a Glance that the rec commission. I feel like that's what we looked at too. That was missing from the Week at a Glance. It was like the second thing doesn't show
Okay.
up.
So that was the problem with the municipal one. I just fixed that.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
So if we refresh, it might fix?
well, if there's another, it would have to
There may be one
scheduled
on
this
Monday.
week.
If you look at the calendar, I think he said there is a meeting next week.
Sidewalk.
It's showing up on Monday, June 10th.
Now it is, yeah.
Public Q&A.
So that one, yeah.
So whoever's loading that should put a descriptor besides public Q&A, because nobody's going to know what that
Yeah.
means till you open it.
But there wasn't anything the day of.
So let's see. So this week we should be seeing two things. So this week looks okay, but, so we'll keep an eye on it maybe?
I was going into, so there's a few other categories that were not set up for that,
Okay.
like rec commission, so I've turned that on.
Can I just, I'm gonna walk over and see what you're doing.
So I'm in the category setup, right? And here's our existing categories for the calendars.
Yep.
So if I go to Trails Committee, see this checkbox right here?
Ah.
Available to show up on front page. You just have to make sure that's checked. So I'm going in and turning them all on.
That was probably me.
It's okay.
So,
That's okay. But now it's they're all set up.
Well, hopefully that's fixed.
Conservation is on the list of agendas and minutes, and we have a monthly meeting, and that showed up, but now we have a subcommittee that has a different name than conservation. We're putting everything under conservation, so when it shows up here, it just says regular session for the subcommittee.
Oh, in the agenda section?
Yeah.
Right.
The agenda's there. I mean,
That sounds okay, I think.
I don't think it's a major issue.
I think you can go in. Let me go there. What day was their
The 11th.
subcommittee?
The 11th
The
was the
11th.
subcommittee.
Okay. So if you go in, you can actually.
I
This is what I
can't.
would do.
I can't.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah,
Went to
after
Stephanie's.
we meet, we need to
Yeah.
see if we can look at Rebecca
Oh,
and
that's
see
right.
if she.
Yeah.
But I'll just show you quickly. Like in the agenda module,
Yep,
you can actually go in to conservation committee, which is here.
yeah.
I'll go to the 11th where it says regular session, and now I can rename this to like subcommittee session.
Okay, okay. I will let Michelle know.
Do you think we should have just a statement under town calendar that says for other, for other committees, boards, whatever, see the, in other words, like, it took me a while to figure this out.
Okay.
And so I'm just thinking other people may have the same, they may just be looking at this and going, oh, that's all that's going on, and leave it at that. They may not know enough to go in and look deeper. So maybe just something that says.
Like a little user help.
Yeah, just to
Like,
point to
like
this.
say, you can search, you can filter, select all to filter to a specific group or meeting,
Right.
and then what does that give you to?
This
That
gives
changes, that
you-
changes.
You can look at
Yeah.
different,
But you're talking
Oh,
about
the
on the
far-
front page, right?
right on the town calendar, yeah.
Like at the top where we just say subscribe to a specific calendar on your computer or mobile device using iCal. Like just be a little more, give more directions.
Oh, as to how to use the filters?
Or just
Yeah,
the,
like I don't know, I'm just thinking like the things that people come and ask me for our website, a lot of people are gonna miss that there's all these other possible, departments
Views.
or meetings or
So
whatever.
in this view on the town calendar page,
Yeah.
by default, it's showing all of them. So
yes, you
nothing's
can't, you
filtered.
can't miss anything.
Yeah, but it doesn't show all of them, does it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the calendar's been, it's the week at a glance on the front page that we've been having issues with.
Oh.
Apparently because of me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's
Ignore
all
me.
But no, that's interesting though.
Totally.
It took you a minute to see the all to filter, but at least it's
Well, I saw
secondary.
all, but I didn't think this was all. Like, I felt like there had to be more. So so on the 12th, if there were a fourth item,
It would show.
It would show.
It would just
Yep.
keep getting bigger?
Yep.
Okay, all right,
Yep.
sorry, that was my bad.
No,
Oh,
that's all right. I like to hear how everybody's using it to see if it, you know, there's little intricacies that
Yeah.
makes it tougher or easier, or could
Because
be
there's some
easier.
things we can ask to be changed if
Yeah.
there is a problem.
But also, like, people will come in and ask us how to, I couldn't find this on the town website, and, if I can know how best to direct them.
Yep.
Just as an
Maybe
information
police
spot,
on the town
not so
website.
much as.
You
couldn't find it?
Then that
Yeah.
would help,
Yep.
It's under,
but clearly my brain
it's
is
under services,
That's okay.
public
fried
safety.
right now.
Oh, public safety.
Yeah, we kind of grouped
Oh,
public safety all
okay.
together
Okay. And what about highway,
under public safety.
under public safety?
But
I
that's
see.
interesting, because maybe that doesn't make sense. Maybe we need to pull it out as a higher, like cemetery has its own, maybe police would, are you hearing that? That, I wonder if anybody else is struggling with it.
Which was it?
Like if we grouped public safety to emergency management, fire, highway, police. I don't know, maybe that's not,
I don't know, maybe
maybe
it's,
that's, maybe to be more direct and just have each of them have their own bolded text.
They're top level ones.
Yeah.
What's the difference between highway and highway shed?
Where's highway shed?
It's under waste.
Oh, did we move something?
Well, public safety highway is the highway department. Highway shed is where you like bring stuff.
Yeah.
for-
So that would be like plowing and stuff.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So that'd be like a DPW
Yes.
for the
But-
highway.
Yeah. And we had called it, I think, Public Works at first, but I guess in Hampshire, the way that the town is set up, the official name is,
Yeah.
even though we don't have a highway. Yeah. Which was interesting.
I could talk to, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth taking it out of that top category? I could talk to Karen if it makes sense. If it's harder, I mean, I like seeing them all together, but I get a little too organized, so if people are, if it's, I don't know.
I think that's one I would probably look at like
Later.
analytics and see if
Oh.
folks are having a hard time clicking around.
Oh, yeah.
And then we could tell
Yeah.
from analytics if
Yeah.
it's a problem.
Okay. How much time do we want to, like, how long do you think you'd want to sort of analyze? Like 6 months of use or is
Yeah,
it faster?
I mean, you can analyze on a month-to-month basis.
At any point we
At
could
any
look.
point, we can look.
I was just thinking for an average. Okay. Okay, well, I think we can probably, when we get to a point where we want to analyze the entire, or whoever's going to analyze the entire website,
Right.
we can sort of say, okay, this isn't working. Okay, that's a good thought. All right. Okay, I think we weren't going out of order, but I think that's okay.
I think just in terms of, sorry,
No, that's
if
okay.
you have another section, but
No.
just in terms of the website, I have noticed that we're not seeing as many town news items in the feed.
Yeah.
Like we had a lot at first, and now it's just kind of stale with the now hiring type stuff. So I don't know if there's something we can do to encourage people to try and use the town news thing.
I think in this transition of, because we've started, like Letty and I have been here Letty's been here every Tuesday. Did Letty come in? Do you see any kind of?
No.
She's not feeling good. I know we've been here every Tuesday and answering questions and things, and we're now like officially transitioning sort of the ownership of, instead of us running, everyone else is going to run their own. So maybe what we need to do is outline, like, this is what the news is for. I think that everyone's getting it, but news is probably the last, because it's more of like it's a communication tool, but it's not like the day-to-day needed, necessary
Right.
things.
Yeah.
I know that they struggled with the legal notice.
Yep.
And even Karen was saying, I think you had gone back to municipal one and kind of said to them, like, it's municipal law right now that they need, if they want to opt to have it, it has to be a certain way, and they were going to potentially do something for it.
So there's supposed to be a new software version that's coming out mid-summer, and they
Oh.
said that we could opt into the beta of that
Oh,
software version.
I think Karen would be very interested
So
in that.
we're supposed to be on the list for that.
Okay.
I'm expecting that we probably won't hear anything until August timeframe
Yeah.
for that to come out.
Okay. For right now, they are doing this legal notice on the front page here, and we're just kind of listing every single one, because I don't know if there's more than 5 at a time, so it's okay. Okay, that's cool.
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
On the news and announcements, if you open up more news, it's still showing snow reminder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do those just keep staying there, or do they ever come off?
When you put up the news, you have an option to have it expire.
Oh, okay.
So probably they just didn't do that.
Yeah, like, are we still trying to find all these positions
opportunities,
too? Because there's
yeah.
5.
This one can stay, the police, because it's just a general future opportunity.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the others.
Those ones should automatically disappear once the job is filed in the job center as closed. So all of these, if you click on them, will link you to the job center, and it says that it's still open for.
Then it might
submission.
be.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very possible. I just didn't know. That the
Do we
snow
know if
reminder-
any applicants are coming
Through this
Because
system?
of this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's analytics on. Well, we can do it through Google Analytics probably.
But like, where does,
Well, it says to
Fire.
email to a certain email.
does it actually just get emailed?
It does.
Yeah, you can't submit it through the website.
Do we know if they're doing it?
That'd be interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, is that?
I would think it's helpful.
I mean, the other thing we haven't used yet, which could be helpful, I know there was discussion probably 2 months ago about getting a new like plow truck, right? This has a bid center that we could start having the town leverage to actually put bids up for types of procurement needs.
And under town projects, I'm not sure who added RFP bids, but it's there.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. I don't know if we did that, or
Don't think s-
if somebody worked with Letty, or maybe even Karen did.
They linked back to the RFP center though, so that's good. Oh.
So it's up there.
Yep.
It's,
Would you use that for regional associations?
we
No,
use it
that's
for
different.
conservation consultants.
Yep. Yeah, so if you have like a request for proposal that you want to
Yeah.
put out, or a
Yeah.
bid request, this is the perfect place to do it.
Now, would Becky need to be granted permission
To the
to that
RFP
area,
center.
to
Yep.
that, yeah. Okay. Was there anything else you guys saw? Here, I can open up my edits. I have a short list. Do you want me to just read them off so we have it recorded? The document file name's not passing through to like a download. So when you, like if I want to go and download our agenda, it renames it to a gobbledygook series of letters and numbers instead of, you know, our nicely.
Looking at, for instance, the agenda for the select board. Yeah, so it says, it's basically, should be putting on the name of the agenda and then looks like the date, time? Are you not seeing that?
I actually haven't, let me see. I go to services, I go to governance. What is a minute? I go to budget committee and I download. And let's say I download it. Oh, it is keeping the name. No, it's adding. That's what it is. It's keeping part of the name, but then it's adding like a series of numbers.
That's a internal timestamp that it uses to make sure it's unique.
Oh,
So that's why the file name.
okay. Well, then that's not going to get fixed. That's just what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can ask them if they can truncate it when they're doing a download, but it's probably low on their like.
Yeah, I would say if it's a
priority list.
timestamp type of thing that somebody could, like a receipt, sort of?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't seem like. Oh, on the emailed notifications, what I noticed is, let's say on a Monday, I'm not sure this is totally accurate, but let's say on a Monday night you get an email notification. It has like the garbage for the following week. Instead of, so it's confusing, and that's been our main thing is the waste recycling schedule.
So I think the problem is that similar to the town calendar,
Yeah.
sorry, the front page calendar, as soon as the time of the scheduled event has passed, it drops off the calendar. So on Monday, if you look at noon, you don't see that it's recycling day anymore. If you go to the town calendar, you're going to see Monday from noon to Monday to next noon. So when the e-notification comes out, you're seeing the next week's schedule.
Oh. And do you think there's a way to fix that? Probably not.
But I guess, wouldn't you want to see next week's schedule? Because if you're getting it on the night after it's already been picked up, you really don't want to see that event.
I wonder if I have an email. I don't even know if I've gotten an email lately, actually. Brentwood. Or maybe the cadence, I wonder if what's happening is, like, I thought we'd get an email every night, but maybe it's only when new things have come up, do you think?
It should only be when new content is added. Yep.
So any kind of recurring meeting wouldn't show up.
That I don't know. I think we would have to ask
Maybe we need to test it out.
Municipal One.
Maybe all of you can pay attention if you see. And everybody who's listening, sign up for the email.
And text message.
And text messaging. Okay. I don't think they've wrapped, I don't think that's quite happening yet, the text messaging. I'm not sure if it's set up or if we just haven't.
It's set up now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's it should be a place under notifications. If you go to services, e-notification. Be a place to put your phone number. Interesting. It's not there now. But it is enabled.
We don't have to fix that tonight. We could just check back because I don't know that they've been using it quite yet
Do
either.
we have a view of the analytics?
I haven't looked. I'm sure we could pull it up. I don't know if I know how to pull it up.
Go to,
Someone should teach me so I know how.
I can do everything but cast. Oh, I can join the meeting and then join the Teams meeting. Yep. Let's see.
I just subscribed.
Oh,
And
very
the
good.
notifications for the first time.
Very good.
I'm subscribed too, but I don't really get
Many.
Yeah, I'm
updates.
looking. Let's see. I subscribed in March. I started getting them in March. So I got them 328, 41, 43, 47, 49, 411, 412, 417, 513, 514, 522, 524. Yep.
You get a lot more than me.
Did you pick and choose which ones you
I
wanted?
might have. That's probably why.
But it's curbside waste shows up sometimes. Like, I wish that it looked like this every time. I know these are probably just the new items, but I kind of wish that when you got an email, it kind of had like every single thing that's happening, any news item that showed up, any new agendas and minutes. Like, I wish that the email, I don't mind that it's simple like this. I think it's actually kind of nice, but I wish that and maybe this isn't a possibility, but I wish that like every week you got, like maybe.
What's coming up?
Yeah, like Monday, this is everything that has coming up this week, and then in addition, you get like anytime there's something new,
I would have thought that's how it should work.
right?
So.
So maybe we
So
should
maybe
ask.
there's a problem, so we can.
That
look
would make
into it.
sense, right? You
Yeah.
get because then everything that's steady and current, you would know on a Monday,
Yep.
and then as things change, like a cancellation, I don't know if we ever talked with Karen about like, everyone has to cancel by 4 or 5 whatever it was that we talked about, and then it shows up in the email, but that's not happening either. So, all right, so we definitely want to check in on the email,
Yes.
the e-newsletter rather. The rest of these are really picky, so I'll just go with these later. We don't need to talk through these. That one we fixed.
You reminded me there was something I had asked you about a couple of weeks ago. I went on to the website to find out what time the office opened and how late. And it's buried under town clerk. That's the only place I found the hours of the building.
That was something I noticed, and actually I had a couple other people that their instinct to see town hours is to go to the bottom where it says about.
Right. Josh Petula, yeah.
So if you hit admit or allow, should be a little button right next to it.
With the check?
Yep.
Okay.
I did it.
Ooh.
So then I can do.
So now you can show your screen.
Yeah. Share. Window.
I'm going to
Yeah,
add that to my list.
Yeah. Somewhere down here about us.
Okay, I just wrote that down. Thank you. Are you going to pull up Google Analytics?
Yeah.
Now, is this what people are seeing on their home screen, or is that not happened yet?
That hasn't happened yet.
So that's one of the things that's still to come.
Yep.
Oh,
That'll. That's gonna take me a little bit longer to program.
No, because
whether it's here or here, a link. Like if you go to photo credits, it brings you to the photo. So if you just had a clip.
That's me again.
Okay.
I just don't know how to do it.
No, I don't see Lynn.
No, it would be
Oh,
me again.
okay.
You just have to hit the new admit button.
There's a microphone. Another one, okay.
Yep.
We're learning as we go. I love it.
I must be drunk. I see two Joshes.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
It canceled me out of the first one. That's why. Google Analytics.
For, do you need the email address?
I think I have it.
Okay.
I think I saved it.
Have it.
And he gets things like this with his Karen. Somebody with a concern that, yeah.
Ideally, if you select one, it would go to multiple email addresses, but I'm not sure if that's
What's the difference?
like if it was a road hazard, maybe it
Oh,
would go to
then it would go to
Wayne.
Wayne. I gotcha.
If barking dogs and stuff, but I'm not sure if that's how it's working.
Spring pictures. Need some
Sort of
spring
under
pictures.
development.
I haven't had time to look at this, so
Great
this
if you
is
got pictures
sitting
of
there playing.
stout oak farm and things.
Focus time, right?
You've got
I'm so
my
busy with
hayfield
everything.
being harvested.
Animals being born.
Animals being
Yeah,
born,
calving.
yeah. I know someone who has 2 baby goats. They're
Oh.
Is this the not like Toys Farm?
No, that's on Deer Hill, right at the corner there.
Yep.
No, it's on the other side of Middle Road, but in the vicinity. Right now, yeah, they're regular goats, but these are 2 weeks old. Tiny little things.
Our goats were little, they were almost,
Yeah.
now they're 250 pounds.
Oh, I don't think hers are that big. But my neighbor has the fainting goats.
Little pygmies.
Cute.
Oh.
So,
Mhm.
I just tested it,
Mhm.
and I would expect that because, well, I don't know if I would expect that because mine isn't staying with me. But it actually comes up with info, which is in general.
You want it to change? We can change it.
I don't know, I'm just wondering.
That's easy. That's an easy change.
Because then if I, yeah, I guess so, because then if something's more
So
generic,
we
I
started
can
with
say
7.
mine,
Shoot.
forward it
Goober.
to whoever should have it. But I'm afraid not all the stuff.
We went through our annual experiment as well. Chickens and sheep.
Looks good, Josh.
There we go.
Ooh.
So we've got, see like the last 6 months.
Yes. Let's see.
So the right column is the number of users at a given time.
So this is number of users that have visited the site in the last quarter.
In the last quarter, okay.
Let me see. If you want to do last 6 months? I guess I can do this year.
Okay.
So 12,000 users have visited with over 70 unique users, right? And
Yes,
then over
yes.
75,000 views of our website.
What does unique user mean?
Like individual.
Yeah,
That person only shows
A
up
human.
once in the
human.
count.
Yeah.
A human.
Only shows up once in the count.
So a person with a device will only show up once. So if
Okay.
you look at your laptop and also look from your phone, that's
Mhm.
2 users.
Okay,
Oh.
Okay.
okay.
But each month we've had consistently over 500.
So you could even drop that down in half and it's still 6,000. Like if you figure everybody has 2 devices.
Yep.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
given
great.
our town's only 4,800 people.
It's an event.
Event count is things like
Individual pages.
page clicks, you know, back navigation, all those. We can also go and look. We have visitors coming in from India.
Yeah, those are the
Wow.
bots that are sending us
But,
messages.
You know, like
Possibly.
agenda and minutes, definitely the top would be expect, which we're spending a lot of time on calendar, and that's the lowest.
Yep.
But is that because the calendar is
That's
not
true.
user-friendly?
Right.
Or
That
is it
could be.
because nobody cares?
Yeah, here's our top pages. So
Can
this
you go to
is-
the view pages and see what?
That's last 7 years.
you can go and look.
Garbage is up there,
One.
number 3.
Everybody cares about their.
Well,
You know,
that's-
just for giggles, we should have gained it. In the UK, they call it
Yes.
Yes. The Town of Brentwood, is that just the main page?
That's the main.
Home
Yeah,
page?
that's the homepage.
Well, actually, that's nice to see that people are coming in through the homepage
Yep.
instead of a Google search.
Right. Yep.
Cool.
So there's a lot more that we can drill down when folks want to, but this is like what page they're landing on over time. So some people link directly to the calendar. Some people link directly to our emergency page.
Does it show how long?
Oh,
people
there
are
it-
on a
yeah.
page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average engagement. Yep.
So if they don't find what they want in a minute or in a minute, they're gonna stop there. Okay, so that's like our sweet spot of if you can't figure it out in a minute,
And you're
they're
gone.
gonna give up.
Yep.
I wonder if John Morgan travels to India. Maybe he's the one person that's looking from India.
I think he's Middle East.
Is he Middle East? Okay.
So I think, obviously the committee can use some of this data to figure out
Yeah.
where to focus in the future,
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah.
like where to put our efforts against. But you can even, if folks were interested, you can come down here and see how are people using our website, right? Like actually iOS users way more than a desktop user in terms of people
Wow.
visiting the site.
Does
Wow.
it show like downloads?
Actually, I disagree. It's even because if you do Windows and Mac, it's the same as iOS.
Well, but if you look over on this right-hand side, the platform device
Oh,
category.
Yeah, but it's not low, it's not too low.
Yeah.
You can even see web tablet. Wow.
Yes. Yep.
Does
Cool.
it show like the files that have been downloaded?
I think it will under key events, but it's like we have to drill down for
Okay.
those if we wanted to find them.
Because I'd be
Um,
curious, like, what are the documents that people are downloading?
Right.
Screen resolution.
That used to be a thing.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
Not so much a problem anymore.
Everything's done.
The mobile versus desktop is nice to know. Like if in 5 years they want to change who they're, you would look for the best mobile interface versus the desktop interface.
Right. Yep.
Does
Exactly.
it show ISP?
It doesn't show ISP. It only shows originating country from like a geolocation.
Curious how many people in town have Comcast
Very small.
Yes, I would love to get Fidium, but I can't on my street. So.
Wonderful.
I know, I've tried to.
2 gigabits.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Speaking of the internet, in 4 months.
Not that I'm
Oh,
aware of
yeah.
yet. There was an effort to, so from the committee perspective, we did go and get some information as to pricing for the town to switch basically to Fidium for all of its locations. So there's like 5 locations in town, right? From the highway shed to library to the police station / town hall, fire department, and rec center.
School?
Well, school wouldn't fall underneath
Oh,
the
okay.
town's
Okay,
um,
okay.
budget, but You know, I can bring up the email if folks are interested. Let's
You
see.
do fitting for commercial? How does that?
You can do it. Yeah, they have a business plan, and they even have,
Oh, fitting.
pull this up here.
Especially with all this fancy dancy.
We are pushing the limits of the
I was
current
gonna say,
bandwidth
yeah.
that the town has to offer. But so standard, it would be 600 megabit per second business service.
130.
Yes, yeah, 130 a month, and then that gives you dedicated technicians for business with 99.9 uptime, and then the fire department, if the town wanted to, because that's also our emergency management center, could it would be $400 a month, but they would get what's called a DIA, or direct interconnect access. So they run a dedicated fiber from their co-location point to the fire department.
See, the
for
fire department should
managed uptime. They could do that as well.
yeah, something that's completely disconnected.
But so those are some options out there. It's definitely from a cost perspective and a performance perspective a better solution for Fidium over Comcast. I think that's one of the things that the committee can take back to the select board at some point.
Yeah.
What do we pay for Comcast right now?
I had that number. Let's see.
Right, wonder.
Yeah, if you don't know for sure, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it's different per site because today the town has contracts with Comcast
Okay.
for every site. That's the other
Right.
benefit to Fidium
Yeah.
is they'll group
One
all of the
contract.
locations under
Yeah.
one bill. So I can't give you the exact price, but we are getting 75 megabit per second internet, which is,
Half-ish?
I believe, the new FCC federal standard to even be called broadband is 100 megabits per second, if I remember correctly. So we're below that threshold. And because we are doing things like streaming to YouTube for all of the meetings, we now have Teams capability where outside folks can connect. We really do need to look at increasing the bandwidth that's available.
So why don't we segue with that into how we want to move forward this year. We would be due in July to renew members, and I think we kind of had separate conversations just to see what all you guys feel like doing, and I know I can speak for Letty, she's not here, but I think we're all feeling like we accomplished a lot in 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I need to step down as the chair because I just have too much going on and I don't feel like I'm able to commit time to this I can help, but and then we've been working as volunteers because it's faster and easier. All separately or in small groups, right? So whether we want to continue disband the committee, offer that the select board can continue it and maybe shuffle members through, offer volunteer help just because we all like to see the improvements and it's taking a while, slow improvements. If we want to recommend that they go to sort of an ad hoc situation where when there's a time for another large project, they can get another group together. I don't want to be an at-service committee. That's not the reason we did this, right? We made really big strategizing decisions and recommendations, and then we implemented a lot of to save the town a lot of money between the AV and the website. Like what we did as a group, you would have to hire an entire team, a
Did we
company.
invoice the town?
No, I started, I
curious
would like
what
to, I would actually like everybody, maybe I'll contact you afterward, but maybe, we can get an estimate of how much time it took for photography, and your time's insane, and I know my time's a lot, and it could just coordination, just a guess. Because, if we did sort of a hourly rate of whatever, like $50 an hour, which is probably low, that it would accumulate to be quite a bit of money that we save the town. So I don't know how you guys feel. I'm planning on kind of taking our thoughts to the select board and letting them decide what they want to do with this committee. The library is not going to get left out. We know you need to come out of the town now because of the
Or I need to get
requirements.
moving on doing.
So I think we can meet with you and bring you in just like we've done. Since we've done it, it'll just be like treating it as and you have a group of people too that can help out. So don't worry, like we're not going away. It's just the effectiveness as working as a committee may not be.
I think that's the biggest thing that we've, at least from me, that we've learned is that I think the group of volunteers to work on what communication's done has been great.
Yeah.
I would like to continue volunteering in that
Yeah.
aspect. I think having the committee has been restrictive because when we need to do things, you know, you have to post the
Yeah.
meeting for every working session,
Yes.
and it's like it's just a working session. So
Yeah.
to post all that and have all the extra just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me. So me personally, I can only speak for myself. Like I
Yeah.
would say I'm in favor of not being part of the communications committee going
Yeah.
forward,
Yeah.
but being a volunteer
Yeah.
that still works on this.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a pool of volunteers that for communication reasons that they can, as a resource that they can call on, rather than having a committee that makes decisions, unless there's another project.
There's a big project, they should have
Yep.
a committee to like
Yep.
manage it, and then, but I just think that having, even if the committee forms, they can work with the group of volunteers
Yeah.
to help.
Yeah.
but-
And then the other part of it is, we could also look at it, whether it's a committee or a group of volunteers, but maybe an annual audit of the website where you look at the analytics, you kind of analyze, are things working, not working, update pictures, if somebody needs help, train new people. I think Karen's working on the annual, I think she's working on
Training session.
a session for all the committee chairs
Right.
that we recommended. So maybe an website audit committee meets every, after March, everything turns over. So maybe it's something that meets from April to June of every year and you have small, but I don't feel like I'm feeling the same way. I think we did a lot as a committee, but I think that the pace that things need to happen is not
It's not
suitable.
set up for a committee.
No,
You have to
No.
meet much more
Yeah.
frequently. I mean,
I don't have time to meet weekly. I mean, I think we'd have to meet weekly because like Letty and I have been in here.
you've been
during
here weekly
yeah.
on Tuesdays. I was coming in every Saturday or Sunday
Yep.
for a month and a half
Yep.
to set all the equipment up. So
Yeah.
it's just not stuff that you can do as a like committee that
Yeah.
has to then post and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So I can offer those options and let them decide, but I should probably also let them know who's going to continue and who's not. So if they do want to keep it as a committee, they would know they'd have to fill spots.
Karen said today to me that she hopes that the process for committee appointments and reappointments will be finalized at select board this coming week. Because it's still a little,
Yeah.
the details aren't worked into the system.
Yeah.
Wouldn't Steve and Letty say,
Steve kind of feels the same way. I think I can speak for him. We talked a little bit. I think he feels like the effectiveness is almost easier as a volunteer. Like if he wants to volunteer as a writer, I'm a graphic designer, photography, web, technical, like we've kind of got a pool of people. And there's probably even more people in the community that might say, I'd like to be considered as part of that pool. And then when they need help, they could do a little, hey, we'd like to do this and this. Are any of you interested? And just have a little group of volunteers that,
Yeah.
I mean, until they can hire a communications part-time person, that would be really cool. But obviously that's not going to happen anytime soon. So.
You have something for volunteers on the website.
We
You
do.
go in,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So
So-
we post it there.
So maybe that would be our best recommendation is that it's, instead of a committee, it's just a group of volunteers and we work with whatever town person, entity that needs help at it, if they need help with a presentation, if they need help. I know Steve would like to continue to support the budget committee, so that's a possibility. Letty and I are both really still excited about doing some kind of voters companion, but we need to work with people to do that, so.
I almost wonder, and I'm just throwing this out there, should the select board kind of appoint somebody in the town offices as a communications liaison? And then that person can say, we need to put a call out to,
Mhm.
and that one person can then manage the volunteers and say, you know, we need you for this, are you available? So that might be an opportunity for somebody.
I think because communication is an everyday thing and not a monthly thing too.
Right, yep.
So, how do you feel, Caleb? I know you were our one person who would stay on the committee. At least a couple months ago when I talked to you.
Yeah, I mean, if it's still gonna be like a once a month thing, then I'd be happy to, stay on and attend as many meetings as I could.
Yep.
So I mean, I've enjoyed helping out this committee, so
Yeah,
it's been fun. So
yeah. And how about you, George?
Yeah.
Same kind of feeling. And Becky, you feel the same way?
That it should be an ad hoc process. with
Or a
project
group of
opportunities,
volunteer, yeah, like a group of volunteers and ad hoc as necessary when they have a specific project that has specific timelines and a scope and like really defined, a defined project. We
There's no-
started with like
Right.
we
Well,
defined ourselves,
Yes,
so.
it was pretty amorphous what you were asked to do. I found this incredibly valuable for me personally, learning
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah,
But whether it needs to continue as a committee, I don't think so.
okay. All right, so we're kind of all on the same page that we're all sort of willing and see how to
And
continue helping.
absolutely, I mean, we will continue to see everything through that we've
Yes,
done.
yeah.
and So I think we're all committed to
Yep.
help. It's
Yep.
just without the constraints of being a committee.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
We do, I know I'm just advisory, but we do like one-on-one tech help at the library. So if somebody calls us and says, hey, I can't figure out how to use this, we're not by any means experts, but we know where to go to look for information. We know who to call if we need to find support, but we help a lot of people that way. So it could be similar where we could help
Oh.
with people that were having trouble navigating the website.
Oh, that's
or
really
needed,
interesting, actually.
And almost be like that the place where if people are having problems with the website, taking down that information,
Yeah,
and sharing it with
that's
whoever
great.
the liaison is
Yeah.
in town.
I know I had talked to Andy really briefly on same kind of note to go sit in one of his senior luncheons. And just anyone who wants help with the website, just same thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
And we haven't really advertised it per se, but people seem to know. I think they just know that libraries are the place you go when you need help.
That happened years ago as well, when the first electronic in the library, it was Jay Schaefer who set everything
Oh.
up with
Yeah.
the database. So there were volunteers who did it on a case-by-case project basis.
Yeah. so work as needed, as issues come up, as changes needed to be made. All right, that sounds good to me. I'll confirm with Letty and Steve. I'll tell them what we discussed and just make sure they're on board before we officially. I believe Tuesday is the next select board meeting. It's possible I could attend that. I have to look at my schedule, my work schedule. With that, Letty and I in our website office hours have been starting to make a list of sort of the handoff. I think we started making a generic who's in charge of what page. And then there's probably a little bit of training. I made that training document. I don't know how much it's being used. I had talked to you about possibly just making a quick recording of how to use something. So, and then we have this now, right? So we could come in and make YouTube
Yep.
how to use the website.
Absolutely.
So there's still a few. So if our time is up in July as a committee, we could still meet, however can meet, to take care of some of these extra pieces to whatever, like things that need to be fixed, like we just sat here and fixed a few things. think that's it. You're here tonight. Is there anything you want to, I know Josh and I had talked about, we could come sit with you by yourself, or if, I forget who it was on your Kiki, and then is it Meg? Is Megan Schneider in your group?
She's on my board.
And she has website experience.
Yes.
So maybe it makes sense to have a brief touch base and see where you're at, and then decide how to move forward to get you guys over. Because we can do that, right? We don't have to have Municipal One. We can add
can do it.
pages and we can just do it.
100%.
And then teach them how to upload, and
Yep.
you guys
100%.
it might be an easy transition for
I
you.
was
I
gonna
don't
say,
know.
I mean, we've been using Weebly, so I don't think it'll be terribly difficult to transition, but
My-
I know
And I
there
had
are
already
some
set up
things.
one of your links. If you go to brentwoodnh.gov/library, it brings up your current library page right now.
Ooh.
Know that.
What was it, .gov?
/library.
Wow, look at that. If we do some sort of transition, like you just noticed, you're the only person listed on the directory.
then I can go
We
in
can
and fix
update
that.
that.
Yeah.
I would say agendas and minutes would be the first best thing to give them a committee.
Yes.
So I suppose this is something I need to talk to the select board about on Tuesday, just to make sure that
Yeah, adding
bringing
them
them
into
in
the
is
ecosystem.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because it makes sense. I
Yep.
mean,
And I think they were already on
to me.
board when we presented the whole idea in the first place. So it's probably just reconfirming that. we're
Because I
gonna go
remember
ahead with it.
specifically asking Karen about it and
Yeah.
whether I would have to budget for inclusion, and she said no, it would be.
All together.
One of the things that we have a real problem with is, and it's us, we just haven't had time, is the mobile interface is horrendous for our
On your
website.
current,
Yes, and that's because we used an old template before they came up with mobile interface
yeah.
templates. So we'd have to convert everything over, but I've been avoiding doing anything because it's a lot of work. And until I know if I'm gonna continue running through Google,
Mhm.
I didn't wanna put that on
my
overhead.
only concern was how branded you felt the library was, and if you could attain that coming over, because it's kind of limited. But I think we could probably,
I mean,
Like,
you're
we
not
give
going
it-
to get a completely unique way of navigating. It's going to look like how you navigate the rest of the site.
yeah.
But you can put on the banner headers like
Yep.
pictures from the library. You can
Yeah.
do those types of things to make it feel like you're part of a
Mhm.
subsection. That
And you
is
can add like
library.
logos as JPEG images, like I think you could make it,
And I think you said you already spoke to some other librarians that have moved on to like Civics Plus as part of their.
Yeah,
So
although I've noticed most of them seem to be links.
links off of that
off
back
of
to it.
that, Back
Yeah.
to wherever they're using.
Yeah.
Which at first I would have been fine with, except, and I still would be, but it just means I've got to get my act together around dealing with the accessibility and dealing with the mobile interface.
Yeah.
And we just have not had time, but I know people using their phones complain all the time, and I get it. I look and I see it, it's horrendous.
so that would be something you wouldn't have to worry about,
Right.
because it's already part of this.
Right.
And
And
really,
you'd
I
have
don't know that
actual
branding
support
is any
behind it.
Yeah, and branding, we don't really have, I wouldn't call our website branded in any way. Would you? You
I
would?
mean, it has a look and feel. It definitely, well, now it was a lot different when we had the old website. Now it probably feels more similar because
Yeah.
it is just kind of basic.
And they're just pages, like,
Yeah.
they
But it feels like
landing
a
pages.
library. Like the municipal site feels like a town website.
Yeah,
If you go here, it feels like a library.
Yeah. And you can carry over some of the elements, like the stacks could be at the top of the
Yep.
page, and
because that's just photos. That's just a photo on the
Yeah.
header.
You could even create something like this as
Yeah.
part of the image, so that you create a new image that looks sort of like that. In a way. We can work with you on that.
And honestly, like a lot of what's on our website is there because that's how we could get it to work.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think, I
it's
don't think
funny.
I'm married to anything, to be quite honest with you, as long as I can put photos that feel, and
Yeah.
keep my content,
Yeah.
so that I have my different pages. Now,
That's
how
the-
does that work though? Does that mean it would all be one page, but with links
You
on that
you would it
page?
would look like, let me get back to the, so like cemetery, we've kind of set them up to have, well, actually the police and the fire, but cemetery is kind of the same way. So when you go to fire and rescue, they have kind of a sub website but it's part of the website, so it changes and it feels like you're on
So
their own
basically, those
website.
things are kind of like our tabs.
Yep, it just would be down the side instead of across the top. It's just, yep. You could probably recreate.
And is it
What you
more
have.
like blog? It looks more blog,
Um,
which are home pages, but
it's
are the
it's
rest of it
basically
isn't.
it's basically just one big open field.
So that might actually be freeing, to be honest.
It might
Because
be.
one thing about Weebly is it keeps us in this section of the page so that you're like confined to a certain area, and there's like a lot of.
And these
spread.
guys know some tricks for like creating tables, and I'm still learning, but there are ways to kind of create like a grid so you can have like a section and a third section,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, unless I'm missing something, I don't see why we couldn't make this work.
We
And
can
the-
always mock it up in the site.
Yep.
Not make it public, and then you can take a look and say, does it
Yep.
render the way you want it to?
Oh, so that's a question. Can we? Well, no, that would make sense. We could hide some of those tabs, right? Like
You can build
the
it
summer reading,
privately.
we only put out during the summer, and
Yep.
then that tab goes away.
Yep.
The same thing with the amphitheater. Once that's kind of all done, that'll go away.
Yep.
We do have the Friends page, and that is run by the Friends. They have login information, and they update their own page. I don't do anything with it. Is that going to be an issue?
I would ask the select board how they want to roll with that. As a townsperson, not understanding the intricacies of how everything, I would love to see that represented in the agendas, like,
Well, I guess
but I don't know.
But this is more than that. This is like, actually, their agendas and minutes aren't even on here. It's just their PayPal button, a form to contact them.
Maybe they keep theirs separate and theirs is a link, possibly.
yeah, I mean the friends are not subject to the same ADA requirements as the library, right?
Right.
So I would almost turn over your Weebly site to the friends.
Oh.
It
They
pairs
actually
down.
own
Yep.
it, in fact,
Okay.
because that's how we get it.
Yep.
Free. Well, it's not free, but it's under $100
Yeah.
a year.
So then you pare down all the content, so it's just the friends site. Then you can link from the library section out to the
Out
friends.
to the Friends.
Yep. And that way it's all there.
And if you didn't, you wanted it to come under, you would just add the link to the PayPal. Like you
Yeah,
could have
and
you
know
could
what?
have
I
a
would
friends.
just have to manage the content, but
You
they don't
would
do
just
a
have the
lot.
friends tab. I mean, you would just have, this would be Mary Library,
Right,
and then friends would
Which
just be a
actually
tab.
would be, I think people would like. It just means that I would have to update their page, which, like I said,
I mean, you could
they don't
create
go-
that
they don't
separate-
do much on it.
You could make it look like it's on the same site. You
Right.
basically would have a tab that said friends.
Yeah.
Instead of
then it
having the
would
page
literally-
locally managed, could link out to this, and they could
Okay.
manage it
There,
themselves.
but you could also just have it, we can assign as many admins as it's unlimited. So if somebody from the friends group wants to.
Yeah,
they
right
can-
now it's just the president. He's the only one that has.
So he can do the same thing, he can have admin.
Promotion.
Yep.
Okay.
And we can assign just that page to him, like.
Yeah, and that's what we do. He
Yep.
can't do anything to the rest of our website. He only has permission for that.
So you can talk to your group.
But it does make them
see
feel
what-
like they have some control over, what they're messaging out as, which I like.
Yeah, that's sort of a question for the bigger.
Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking though is it does cost us. Like we have to keep our domain
Mhm.
and
You'll have to
pay
keep,
for Weebly.
what about the domain? Would that go away or?
So the domain, if you want to keep the domain, you can keep it and point it to the library subsection. That's up to you if you want to keep that domain. I would suggest if you do keep it, we move it underneath. Block 5 handles the registration for all the other domains, like the PD domain. I think Fire. I think they took over the Fire one. So I would put it in the same space so it's all managed in one place. But you don't have to keep it. My only concern would be how much material and how much of your user base is used to going to that domain. So if
Well,
it
even
just goes
if we
away,
kept it, even if we kept it for a year with messaging that says,
you could do that.
you know, please
Redirect.
direct to, yeah.
Do you
and-
use that domain for email today?
Yes, we do. So, yeah, we can't get
So
rid of
unless
that.
you end up
Yep.
getting brentwoodnh.gov emails, which I don't think you can.
No, and right now we get free emails for, like, all of our trustees, all of our friends, all of our staff have free emails.
So you'll
And those are costly.
want to keep the domain then.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
wanna keep the domain.
Yeah.
So I could I could just have the friends have
They could have
the
that.
control of
Yep.
the domain, we could link from our page to that, and that would solve both problems.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's I think what I'd like to see. The only thing I also wondered about was, and I said this before, and you're gonna talking about it, but
Oh, where you, yes,
where
I
we where we
understand.
land in the.
So that's a question for the select board.
Okay.
And we can, whether you're a service or a community.
I do notice other towns put the library into community, but just feel like we're service and.
You're both.
We are. I guess that's the thing.
It's like
is
Rex
we are.
kind of both.
Yeah.
and- Yeah.
And technically, legally, we are separate from the town in terms of our governance. So does
So-
that pose any problems?
It's
Towns have library departments.
yes, Stratham has another department, which is interesting.
Yeah, because it's not.
Yeah.
But they probably
Just
realize
organizations,
that that's what people, because you have to think about it from the general patron, who's
Yep.
gonna, where are they gonna look? And I don't know that they're gonna look under community. I think they would either look under governance or services.
Aren't they in the same main building in Stratham? The library's there with town office.
Yeah, but they're gonna be moving. But they're still independent, even though they're same building, they're still independent. They still have, like, they have to pay bills that are related to yeah. Like,
That's an easy fix once we get a decision.
yeah, okay. I guess I would wonder what other people think, but I'm
I
afraid.
mean, maybe library trustees stays under community and libraries, we could, there's all different ways we can do it, so. We could put together like a proposal and then talk through it.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys have any other questions?
So when would we start working on this?
I just have to get through a couple of things.
I do too, so I'm not
There's-
rushing. I'm
there's
just
no
trying to
rush.
have a
Yep,
timeline in my
but you have
mind.
like a year, right? When,
Oh,
you have like a,
actually I have 3 years. I think.
oh, we're fine.
It's just if I
Yeah.
had to start from scratch with Weebly, it's gonna take me 3 years at this point.
No, I mean, once
think,
we said go, like we had a few of us sit in a room and literally just pull stuff over, everybody took a page. It's just seeing if you want to keep the same organization, move it, and then the decision of where you sit on the website and if that, whatever makes sense, so.
You could literally do pizza party. Get it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
And we could
True.
leave it
Yep.
hidden until we're
Yep.
ready to like,
yep,
and then would our stuff stay on our website as well in
Yep.
the meantime?
Yep.
yep,
That would be awesome.
yep.
Yeah, we should be able to do it so you have no downtime.
That'd be great.
Do you have analytics on your weekly site?
I
So
do.
you can see like the transition,
Yeah.
traffic.
I don't have Google, but it's Weebly,
But you have something.
Weebly,
Yeah, like
analytics.
maybe we start off where we were looking with,
Yep.
since she has an
Yeah.
established website and we could kind of make some decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Is that what
pages
you
to
know
move
of
I think
first.
that's great. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. do we wanna sort of calendar a time to start looking with her? Do we wanna put something on the calendar, like after you're, like a little bit later, and when is your time freed up? And never.
Well, okay, so amphitheater is gonna continue, but not in, like, we're almost done. Tomorrow, or Friday, Saturday is our culmination, and then there's just little things. 1 week later, we go into summer reading. And that, at that point, Kiki is
Out
not at
straight.
all available, and neither am I, because I'm trying to support her and all of that.
End of summer,
End of summer would be the best.
September?
Do the best.
Yeah, because I'm doing budgeting at that point, but that's,
I still think it's gonna take us the whole summer to accomplish little changes and things for the
Yeah.
town, so if we just make
Yeah,
a
so the only
note
thing
to
I have
check
in
in
the
with you
fall
right in the
only
beginning,
is
right
budgeting.
after Labor Day. School starts, the library will work on the library, but in the meantime, we'll sort of talk to the select board and find out what they wanna, how they wanna handle it, and that works, right?
Yeah.
Anybody?
So I'm gonna put that on the.
Yep.
Did
my
you,
calendar.
Caleb, were you able to take new photos? Did you coordinate anybody yet? Okay,
I have not.
that's okay.
Just as curious.
But I can. So I have all the police department's photos. I just don't have the. I think what we're missing is the group photo for the select board, right?
I think they wanted to do individual photos.
Yeah.
For the select board.
I think so,
Okay.
but I don't know. I haven't really talked to anybody, so I don't know if that changed or not.
Okay.
I think you said that before, because if one person changes, they don't have to bring all 5 together for another group
Right.
photo. We just change the individual piece.
Yeah.
But don't they already have like professional photos uploaded to the website right now?
I think everybody has it's a mix. Like, I think some people have professional photos. We should just have a professional photo day for the entire town and just have everybody come and take. I need one.
I agree.
I'm the paparazzi, the mamarazzi at home, and I don't have any photos of myself.
I think their pictures look nice.
Russ.
Russ, yeah.
On the 9th, we're checking with
Perfect.
communications to
Good.
set up something.
Awesome.
But that was the other thing, is our calendar is pretty complicated. Well, not complicated, but we do a lot of events.
We can
Like
we can talk
this,
through it.
so
Yeah, we
that's
can talk
something.
through it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you also want to be able to use the rec stuff too. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, yeah, all
Yep.
that, yeah. Okay.
And I know there's one. Did you do the new police officer? There was somebody new.
I have not. I know there's one new one, right?
Yeah.
New
You know
one.
what? If that's the only one you do right now, that's probably the most important.
Did he get added to the town directory?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it the James Russell, the part-time officer?
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's the only one you can do, why don't you prioritize that? Because
Okay.
the select board photos are nice. Like I mean, it would be nice to have them all look the same, but I think they're okay.
Okay.
I think the police department really, really like having all their photos on here, like for community.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you would just do that one, just organize with Kendra. You don't even have to go through Karen, just Kendra.
Just Kendra?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll send an email off. So.
It's nice to have. Oh my
Mhm.
God, Kate, Maggie,
Okay,
that's so cute.
I think we're good.
That's the perfect shot right there.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, were you able to get a photographer for Saturday?
I did, yes,
Good.
thank you, I
Okay.
meant to tell you that.
Steve would be proud.
I'm very jealous. I saw that there's some food vendors and everything.
It's gonna be everything.
Did we want to, do we need to take an official vote
Gotta get your face
about,
painted, Gone in the bubble.
or, I
wraps.
don't, we're okay, right? We just
No,
go
no,
to the
no.
select board. I always get confused as to what the voting, we're all in agreement, so we don't need to vote, right? If we were really,
So
had
after
differing
Saturday,
opinions.
Is it like all open?
How are
Becky.
we going to,
What's the
how are we gonna
official?
phrase
Yeah.
it to the select
Yeah,
board?
there's some. phrases still.
I think I will phrase it, and I can say it, and then go take my notes. I think I'll phrase it that
Are there like tables?
we
and stuff
feel
on
we've,
it?
Not yet.
accomplished.
Now we have to fundraise
yep,
it.
we're
Oh,
gonna
really?
see through
Well, actually.
the
Friends gave us
transition,
some
however long it
money, so I just
takes.
have to
and that
on
we.
We're gonna get sun
working
shades
on
as our first
individual
Yep.
priority. We
pieces
got
of it.
Yep, and that we would recommend moving forward as a group of volunteers rather than a committee.
If you feel
Um,
comfortable, that's
and
our
then my
vote,
next
you
thing
might
is
want to
take
take
pictures.
Looking
Okay.
forward to like,
Just to make
sitting out
it
there
sort of
and
official.
working.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
And then we'll leave it
And
to
I
them if they don't want to
eventually-
do that and they
I
would
want
rather have a
to,
committee, then
we're gonna do
Caleb
donor
is probably the
notifier,
only
but we're
person
gonna
who would,
do
is gonna
meetings
stay on. I don't know how, maybe things will change, but,
And then,
all right, so I'll take a vote and then,
Yeah, if the plan with the new appointment thing, I think they want it in by the end of
Oh,
July,
that's pretty
so
cool.
they
So
would
you
have
buy
to
a box.
post if
Yep.
anyone stays
And,
on pretty soon to get the 30 days.
Yep.
the money from.
and the next
donor,
meeting's
I'm
Tuesday, I
not
think.
sure if it's
Yep.
more like really fun things like they wanna do,
Everybody heard me, right? That's okay, that's okay. We're gonna take an official vote, just so that we're on the record for how we feel. Letty and Steve are absent from the vote. Did you hear what I said, or do you want me to repeat it?
Sorry, no, I was.
No, it's
Repeat the
okay.
question.
We are going to take a vote that we're going to recommend that we, the committee turns into like a group of volunteers and continues to help as needed. The select board could option that if they want to continue the committee, I think you might be the only one who wants to stay on the committee right now, potentially, but I'm not
You
sure.
are the committee.
I don't want to be chair. I saw your struggles.
Or we could, we could get together at ad hoc times, but they'll have to tell us how they, but that's what we would recommend, that it makes sense to be able to do timely changes,
More project oriented than.
that we can just be selected as we are needed, and then we'll let them. All right, so that's what we're gonna vote on, and that I'll just present it, hopefully on Tuesday, just to let them know.
I mean, do you want to put it? I think we should probably put it in writing. It's like,
Mhm.
here's the official recommendation
Yep.
from the communications committee.
Yep.
It's, I think, similar to what you said, right? Like, it's
Yep.
like recommend disbanding the current communications committee.
The format,
The,
format.
right,
Yeah.
the format.
Yep.
Leveraging volunteers going forward, and then reconstitute the committee when there is something of substance as needed.
or like an annual website audit would be, some of us might be willing to
I
come.
think that phrasing always is
Okay.
Okay, and it's recorded, so I can.
Yes.
What was it that you said?
So you made the motion. so somebody
I made the
second-
motion, second, discussion, right? That's the next step.
discussion.
Yeah.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay.
All right,
So it's
perfect.
1, 2,
It's official.
502. Well, 500. They're just not here.
Yeah.
Caleb, are you an alternate?
On
No,
this?
we don't have alternates.
I'm full.
I'm
We're-
not a voting member.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine then, yes.
Yep. One time I had in my head that they were alternates, but they're
yeah.
not. All right, we can close the meeting at 8:03, and then what happens on that? Do we
Yes,
just hit
what do I
stop?
do with this
So
then?
you can first end the call. So there should be a red button at the
Down
bottom.
here?
End the call.
And now will it be on YouTube?
Definitely gonna try to be there.
I know, I would like to go too.
Try my best to be there.
Awesome.
They have the camera button.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it'll be from 2 to 5. The most of the stuff is happening like right at 2, and then.
And then it should